Mega quer dizer muito. O 16 bits mais vendido do Brasil. Isso é Mega. Mais de 280 jogos lançados. Isso é Mega. Mega Drive.
E agora a situação das estradas.
Virtual Racing para Mega Drive! São 32 bits de loucura!
You think you know the history of video games, the rise of Nintendo, the fall of Sega, the console wars that defined generations. But there's a chapter missing, a secret story that happened far from the spotlight. In the heart of South America, one country built an entire gaming industry, not through permission, but through defiance. This is the story of how Brazil created its own video game empire in secret, a story born from restrictions, ingenuity, and rebellion. Welcome to a place where games weren't just entertainment, they were resistance. In the 1980s, Brazil faced a digital iron curtain. The government imposed strict import bans on foreign electronics to protect local industries. That meant no Atari, no Nintendo, no Sega, at least not officially. But gamers found a way. Local companies unable to import consoles decided to recreate them. Using reverse engineering, they built exact replicas of Atari 2600 systems and cartridges, often improving them. These weren't bootlegs, they were survival. Brands like CCE, Gradiente, and Doctor became household names, producing consoles that looked familiar, but weren't quite the same. The result? A parallel gaming universe. While the rest of the world played Atari, Brazilians played clone consoles, cheaper, sometimes sturdier, often with local tweaks. Cartridge pins were redesigned, cases rebranded, and games sometimes rewritten with Portuguese labels and local artwork. Entire generations of players grew up believing these were original systems. Yet, behind the plastic shell, they were products of rebellion, proof that passion could defy policy. Brazil didn't just play the game, it hacked the system. Then came the 1990s, and with it, a hero, Tectoy. Founded in 1987, this Brazilian company struck a deal that changed history. While Nintendo and Sony ignored Brazil's complex market, Sega saw an opportunity. Together, Tectoy and Sega brought official consoles to the country, but in a uniquely Brazilian way. They localized games, translated them into Portuguese, and even created new versions exclusive to Brazil. The Master System and Mega Drive stayed alive here long after they disappeared elsewhere, surviving into the 2000s. It was a world frozen in time, where 8-bit heroes never died. Tectoy wasn't just distributing games, it was reinventing them. They built educational versions for schools, made games based on Brazilian TV shows, and introduced affordable hardware to reach families across the nation. They turned video games into something accessible, cultural, and uniquely local. While the world moved to PlayStation and Nintendo 64, Brazil's Master System kept selling, proof that nostalgia and necessity could rewrite the rules of the market. But Brazil's gaming underground didn't stop there. Throughout the 2000s, a flood of pirate PS1 and PS2 discs became the backbone of gaming culture. Street markets offered hundreds of titles for a fraction of the price. While corporations called it piracy, to millions of Brazilians it was survival. The only way to experience the games the rest of the world took for granted. The gray market became a parallel industry of creativity, with modded consoles, translated games, and community-driven sharing. Brazil once again turned limitation into innovation. Today, that legacy continues. Independent studios and developers have emerged from this history of resistance, crafting games that blend global standards with Brazilian identity. Titles like Horizon Chase Turbo and Dandara showcase stunning design, born from decades of resourcefulness. And in a twist of irony, the same creativity that once thrived in the shadows is now celebrated worldwide. The forbidden consoles of the past became the foundation for a thriving modern gaming scene. The story of Brazilian gaming isn't about copying, it's about adaptation. Every restriction led to reinvention. Every blockade fueled creativity. What began as a necessity evolved into a national identity. Gamers who never gave up, developers who never stopped creating, and a culture that refused to be left behind. Brazil's secret gaming industry didn't just survive, it shaped generations. So next time you hold a controller, remember that somewhere, deep in the streets of São Paulo or Rio, a kid once played on a cloned Atari, dreamed bigger than borders, and grew up to change the gaming world forever. That's the hidden history, the forbidden console that rewrote the rules. And if you want to keep exploring the dark side of technology, subscribe to TecnoDavi. Because the truth about innovation is never where you expect it. Sometimes it's hidden behind the pixels, waiting to be discovered.